That is inspiring to me. That's what we should all be striving for, is the ability to control our own business, have a system that works specifically catered to what you are trying to do or what I'm trying to do, that makes your work as easy as possible with the highest quality results, so your clients or client or whatever are the happiest, so they keep coming back enthusiastically saying, here's my money. Can you keep doing that thing that you love to do, that you're so good at? Should you invest in a home studio in 2020? Wow, what a great question. Let me ask you this. Let me know down in the comments. Have you been home more frequently this year than in previous years? Think about that one. If you're like me, I work in the music industry, specifically recording and music audio production. I've worked on the commercial side of this industry, and I've worked freelance doing my own business out of home studios and project studios for the past 5 years. The commercial side, I did 5 to 6 years in Los Angeles, and now I've done freelance in Las Vegas and in Nashville, Tennessee. I gotta tell you what, man, I'm a big advocate for investing in a home studio. First off, I'm a big advocate in you investing in you, not investing in somebody else's business. Not to get too far off track here, but I do think that collectively we are moving closer towards a remote working economy. Now, again, like I said, if you're in the music industry like me, this is a big thing to consider, because if you're just sitting in front of a computer, maybe you're on the admin side of the industry or doing phone calls and stuff, your job is definitely going to be remote if it's not already. And then if you're like me and you work in studios, the commercial versus home studio market, man, it's so obvious. The supply and demand for work in a commercial studio, how many jobs are there in commercial studios? Are there a lot of jobs? I don't think so. I think it's a very small amount of jobs, and I think the number of commercial studios has been going down quite a bit over the past couple decades because you don't buy CDs anymore. Smash like for CDs. So with that being said, let me know, are you currently building or working on or working from a sort of remote work model or a home studio? Are you just doing beats? Are you a musician, songwriter? Let me know down in the comments. I'm super interested to see how many people actually are currently or working towards a work from home studio business model, especially if you're doing it yourself, because there's nothing better than investing in yourself. Kind of scary, but it's also kind of incredible. Think about it this way. If you are a songwriter, if you are somebody who is running a business and you need music, or somebody who is just doing this for a hobby and you can't afford to go into a commercial studio because how would you? You now have services through the internet where you can hire professionals, musicians, singers, voice actors. There's a lot of different companies that are now doing this, and we all know them. Fiverr, SoundBetter, ANDREWMASTERSmusic.com. You can hire professional engineers, mixers, musicians. You can get consulting, especially at ANDREWMASTERSmusic.com. Go check that one out. And you can really take control of your project on your own. And even without that, you can really use YouTube right here, like you are now, to learn how to do a lot of this stuff at a fraction of the cost and own it and actually make it a viable business that you can run and control and do from your house. So with that being considered, let me tell you this. I have made 3 home studios in the past 3 or 4 years. I built this room in October 2019, so it's been 7+ months now. I've been working on this room in my house, and it has monumentally changed the trajectory of my career and the quality of the work that I do and the quality of life that I have, because I don't have to leave home. But I will tell you, I am planning on expanding and building a bigger studio. So if you're anything like me and you're really looking to invest, maybe you're just starting and you want to make sort of the right purchases now to get into a fully functional, viable business model of a home studio or something similar, I would argue the best way to accomplish a successful version of that future is by asking the right questions before you get started. Now, if you've already started, that's fine. It never hurts to ask some questions to make an assessment of what you have, what you're doing, and where you plan on going to get to where you want to be. So even though this new home studio has yet to be built, by asking these correct questions, I am taking one step at a time to get to that studio, which 2 years ago would have just seemed impossible. But I've sort of been investing as each month and each year has passed slowly into the right things for my business. So quickly, if you're interested in the gear, I actually did an Invest in a Home Studio 2019 video where I dive a little bit deeper into the equipment part of it. You can see that right here. And I'm going to do a little bit less of that, but I do want to touch on a couple crucial parts. The first one, which is getting the signal where I want it to be. This is crazy how this is going to work for me, but I had been using an 8-channel live wire snake, XLR snake, that since my drums were in the same room, that just sits over by the drums so I can route everything through one snake back behind my rig here into my interfaces and then into my computer. I essentially just got a bigger version of that, which is a now 16-channel version of an XLR snake made by Livewire, and it has 4 headphone cue send. So with that considering, this snake gets all of the lines that I need from that room into my control room where I need them to show up. Now, the next biggest thing, this is a monumental one, because what I did in planning this build was consider all of the things as far as equipment and gear and I/O and interfaces and headphone systems and converters and this and that, and like, what do I need? And then I sort of backed up and said, okay, well, hold on. What do I have already? Right? So I actually built a dream list. I told myself, I said, well, if there wasn't any financial restrictions and I could get literally anything that I wanted, what would that be? And I made a list, and I dreamt it all up, and it looked so cool and expensive. And after looking at it, it just looked kind of silly. It looked like there was a lot of redundancies. Ultimately, what I wound up discovering was how to use what I already have. So I have the Apollo X8P interface that I got over a year ago, and I really lagged on taking advantage of console and the software that comes with it. I therefore hindered myself by not looking into it. So now that I really dug into console and the Apollo X ecosystem as a whole, it has opened up. So basically, I've realized this is all I need. I can just expand on this and be able to do everything that I need with this. And arguably, because of the DSP cards, because of their plugin integration, because of the Unison mic pre's, now because of Luna. Hello, Luna is a free DAW. It's free. You buy the interface, you can buy a Universal Audio Aero for $400 or $500, and it comes with Luna for free forever. Okay, that's what, 1 or 2 Unison pre-inputs and a high-Z guitar input and headphone outs and speaker outs with ADAT connection and expandability and a DAW for free forever. There's no excuse. Like, if you want to invest into a good system and you can only spend $400 or $500 up front, that's the move. Because now, unlike me, the guy who's been paying for Pro Tools monthly for years now, I don't have to do that anymore. Honestly, I'm in the process of cutting Pro Tools out. I've started exclusively using Luna 100% of the time now. I've even taken active sessions from Pro Tools and just transferred them into Luna, and I'm using Luna. It sounds awesome. All of my plugins seem to convert and work fine so far. I'm going to shut up about Luna here in a second, but I just wanted to mention that they've taken a lot of the pros from Pro Tools and Logic and other DAWs and just put them all together into Luna. And again, it's free. Come on. Free? Come on. After diving deep on the Apollo X rabbit hole, I realized like I already have the system that I want. I just sort of need to expand on it a little bit. This brings me to my wonderful new addition. Thank you to Universal Audio for sending this over. The Apollo X4, which is a tabletop interface with 4 unison mic pre's, 2 high-Z inputs, 2 headphone outputs. You've got your monitor control, your preamp control, your headphone control. You've got ADAT, you've got line outs, you've got your monitor outs. It's got DSP cards in it. It connects directly into my Apollo XAP. So now I have 12 unison pre's, 4 high-Z inputs. I can control it right here from my desk. You can see, I pull this over a little bit. This is actually a crucial part of this because I'm planning on taking my Apollo out of this desk rack and putting it into like a sidecar because it gets so hot and it's like a heater just pushing at me. So I'm going to move that to the side, but I can control everything from the Apollo X4. So I'm really pumped on this, and it just is sexy. It looks great. Great job, guys. I'm really pumped about that. By really digging into the options and making all of the considerations that apply specifically to what I'm doing, and what you should be doing is doing the same thing, considering the options that relate to what you are doing and what you want from your home studio. Your situation could be very different from mine. Maybe you are a film composer, or you're looking to get into scoring for film or commercials or doing jingles or something like that. Listen to this. My friend Matt scores music for several television shows on giant networks and now a feature film on Netflix, and he's using the Universal Audio Apollo X Aero. Let me look this up. $500. $500. I'm gonna put this link down in the description. Matt is using this 2-channel interface to score movies. He's got his Mac, his Apollo X Aero audio interface. He's got a MIDI keyboard, some guitars, and a vocal mic. And he's scoring movies. He's mostly using a lot of virtual instruments, which is why this can all sort of work. But that's composing now, is you're doing most of the work in the box with VSTs or with different sound libraries, East, West, and native instruments and stuff like that. But he's just using the Aero in his Mac. He literally puts his home studio into a suitcase, take his mobile home studio with him, and continue to work on these shows and movies anywhere he is. That's crazy. That is inspiring to me. That's what we should all be striving for, is the ability to control our own business, have a system that works specifically catered to what you are trying to do or what I'm trying to do, that makes your work as easy as possible with the highest quality results, so your clients or client or whatever are the happiest, so they keep coming back enthusiastically saying, here's my money. Can you keep doing that thing that you love to do, that you're so good at? Figuring out that system, figuring out what's missing, what you need to accomplish that. There's nothing more important than that to me, is being fulfilled and getting the meaning and financial reward for running your own business. You by investing in your home studio, if that's, I'm guessing that's why you're here, right? By investing in yourself and what you have, even if it's just an Aero interface, this is step one. You're never going to need to get rid of that Aero. That Aero is a tabletop controller to your future system that you might get with much more expandability, much more DSP, stuff like that. Like, this is your entry point. You get the Aero for $499 and you have Luna, you have UAD plugins, you have DSP processing. Yo, that's a great investment. This is, and by the way, Universal Audio is not paying me to say any of this. I came to them. This is like, I think these guys are the sleepers. This system is so sick. I am really, really pumped about what the technology that they've made. The hardware software integration is so on point. To me, the craziest, best feature is the active real-time monitoring when you're using Luna or Console to track, and you're hearing what you're recording while you, like when I'm sitting at the drums and I can hear a processed, really solid sounding drum mix that sounds like it's mixed while I'm tracking with no latency. There's nothing better than that, man. You're going to get the best results out of me, out of the other musicians that are playing, out of the singer. It's going to be great. And then, you think about console, how you can save your templates. That's like a full software recall of your session that you can just click and boom, we're set up, ready to go again. That's what I'm looking forward to. My system that I am investing in is going to be very, very efficient, and it's going to be very conducive to getting the results that I want to while putting in not that much time. That's the goal. I want to be able to get these great results that I know that I can get and that I spend time getting, and make that repeatable and sustainable so that I can do a higher quantity, a higher volume of that work with way less time spent doing it, and get more out of it, get more of a financial return, get more content out of it, get literally more products, more songs, more everything out of it. That's what you should be investing in. You should be investing in a more efficient, effective, profitable version of what you're doing now, where let's not think of it through this is just a great business move for yourself. Let's think of it as like a creative, artistic sensibility thing, right? If you can sit down and you can work on your music and be creative without having to think about the technological side and the sort of the annoying details of getting the levels and setting up the session, if you can get that to a point where you can literally just plug in and do your thing, I mean, come on, this is it. That's how you do it. Anyway, if you're anything like me, I'm always pumped to invest in my home studio. I think 2020 has been a big sign, a big bullish sign saying now's the time to set yourself up to be able to work from home if you need to, and make that as efficient and as effective and as high quality as possible so that you're protected in the future and you can still do what you love. 2020 is that sign. So, in my opinion, thankfully, I've been taking steps to get there, but there now more than ever, the technology and the software and the companies have come so far that you can spend $400 or $500 and really get most of what if you're just making beats, this is all you need. That's it. Even if you're composing, whatever, like I said, you can just get the Apollo Aero or the Twin or the X4, and you can do an insane amount of work with just that. Computer's a whole other thing. I think I'm going to make another video about what to consider with computers. Please do leave any and all questions down in the comment section below. I reply to almost every single comment. Make sure to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. If you have any questions about going about this process for yourself, you can actually jump on a Zoom call with me at my website, ANDREWMASTERSmusic.com, where you can also book me to record session drums on your project or mix your project. Anything you need, ANDREWMASTERSmusic.com. If you want to go ahead and jump on over to my Instagram at ANDREWMASTERSmusic, you can follow me over there. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.